Hi guys, and welcome to my boss guide again. Today it's going to be Larodar on Heroic. We'll go through all the mechanics we need to see. It was a bit of a spicy one for us, but very fun. So next you have the trees. There's 3 versions of them. You have the ones you have to DPS here. They then turn into the charred ones, which you need to heal, and then you have the renewed ones that will heal the plant in the middle of the room. So you nuke these down, and there's some circles that you need to dodge. So I'll show you that just coming up here. As they die, dodge the circles. Then as they die, they become charred trees. You'll see that our healer can then see them on his frames and also has targeted them. So you spam heal them up. And what they'll do is they'll run into the middle then. If they're stood on fire, you can life grip them, you can rescue them, that kind of stuff. Basically, you need them to heal the bit in the middle. So very important. So yeah, you can see that the trees are now healing the bit in the middle. And what's going to happen here is we're going to get it up a little bit. So the trees are going to get it to like 40%, 50%, something like that. And then we're going to send our first hose boy. You can see this person highlighted here. So keep an eye on them. So you can see they've picked up the seed in the middle. Just interact with it. It's just a click button. And they're now running around the room, spraying away, clearing it. Obviously, you want to clear as much as possible. You have a big green circle around you showing you the range you can go. So it's not difficult or anything. And yeah, the healers just need to keep the trees topped up. We actually lost one there. But yeah, they keep the trees topped up and he can spray and clear the room for us. So the next mechanic is all about brambles. So you can see I've highlighted here, the guy has the brambles on them. They're not targetable, you can't see them. I've highlighted the sprayer. He needs to spray the brambles. There they are. They've appeared. Okay, so now we can target the brambles and we have to DPS them down. DPS have to be on it quite quickly because there's a few things you have to do with this bramble. So we spam, 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 spam. Get it killed as quick as we can. And then you can see now it's targetable to the healers, so they can heal it up. Okay. So they then start spamming this seed. You can see all the other mechanics going off that I will go through, but you can see that they're spamming this seed. Up it goes, up it goes, up it goes. And then eventually it's full health and it turns into a safe zone that we'll go through in a little bit. So just going through the remainder of the mechanics for P1, you've got these thorns, you can see, you just dodge them. When they happen, balls also spawn that you need to absorb, but generally you dodge the thorns and then you try and absorb those balls. Put a little arrow to once you should see it. You can see our rep pala here. There you go, there's the ball, he's dodged the thorn and he's staying in position to soak that orb. Okay, and finally the tank swap. So basically it's a fall off tank mechanic. It does less damage to the tank the further you get away, and it does less damage to the raid the further you get away. So what you want to do is you want to position it so it goes through fire, because he leaves a fiery path underneath him every time he charges. And then also it applies 10 stacks of a debuff that increases physical damage taken, and it drops off in stacks as it goes. So it's important that your co-tank taunts prior to the charge going off, right? So here's another example. I asked for a speed boost here so I can get out, and I pop a big cooldown because I'm going right into the fire, so I'm not affecting any of our space. Okay, and it goes back. The other tank taunted instantly, so I don't get autoed, and we're all good. Okay, so this is the safe zone mechanic. When he reaches 100 energy, he's going to do a big old amount of damage. So you just all stack in the safe zone that you created by freeing that bramble, healing that bramble, and getting in there. It still does a bit of damage. You will want to assign healing CDs here. Okay, but essentially get in, stand in the good stuff, stand in the darkness, stand in the AMZ. They're really good for it. And yeah, nuke as much as you can. Try and have the boss next to it as well, because obviously you want to still DPS the boss. So when he gets to 34%, he goes into his new phase. You don't want to be stood underneath the boss. You want to be stood sort of just to the back of the boss as a group, popping some CDs again and staying alive. It's very similar to the other transition, but you don't have a safe zone here. So just nice and stacked, finishing off anything you need to. So the next ability is just the start of P2. You have the tank swap. It changes. So now it basically is a frontal. So you need to be facing the fire anyway. And it puts a heal absorb of 100% onto the tank. And you need to share your health bar with other players to try and leech off of them. Okay, so there you go. You can see that that's the frontal. You definitely don't want to be facing that anywhere towards anyone. And then you can see me here. I run around the group trying to get to different areas, not hitting the same people all the time, and I'm taking their health away. With all the other stuff going on, you can kill people, so just be careful. And now we've got the heal absorb. He puts bombs on players, and basically you have until the end of the mechanic, the countdown, to heal the heal absorb off of that person. If not, they're going to get stunned for a long time. So here you go, we didn't get it off of our hunter, and they are now just stood here stunned, hopefully not getting hit by anything, but probably will be. So keep an eye on that. And then you can see in stage 2 there's also some soaks that go out. Pretty self-explanatory. You just make sure you stand in them. You can probably stand one person per, you don't need to do more, but as with all these kind of things, if there's 2 of you in there, it's better than none of you in there. So just stick once you're in there. This is what happens if you don't do it. Nice big explosion on the entire raid and you lose pretty much all your health bar. So make sure you're absorbing them in P2, even if they're in the fire. And then for now, I'll just play out the rest of our P2 and talk a little bit. So you can see that these trees are going to permanently spawn, and you can see that there's really not a lot of space. We managed to keep the hose in this phase, so we could keep spraying, which is nice. I'm not sure whether that would always be the case, and we popped hero in P2. I don't think there's any point in popping hero in P1. I don't think you get anything massive from it. I think it's much better in P2, so just bear that in mind. But in general, it was a really fun fight, really chaotic, easy to kill people. But yeah, really fun. So I'll leave you to watch the end of this and how messy it was. And thank you for watching. Leave a like. Goodbye. And as always, a special thanks to the guildies that provided me with footage so I can make this. Big thanks. Bye-bye.